afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on a very busy Wednesday afternoon. Here's what's making news today. A pointed message from Dane County public health officials. If you live or work in downtown Madison, assume you've been exposed to COVID-19. Our Gabriela Becerra is live downtown with what that means for the community.
Plus, there is breaking news on Dane County's reaction to rising COVID-19 cases on the UW campus. We'll fill you in both in Madison and another system school that's having its own challenges.
And new audio of the president shows that he knew about the dangers of COVID-19 well before he admitted it. We'll have the latest from Washington. But we're bringing you team coverage this afternoon as the UW-Madison and UW-Platteville campuses deal with rising COVID-19 cases.
Our Adam Duxter is live in Platteville, where students could face punishment for breaking rules.
Gabriela Becerra is downtown Madison with a warning for anyone who goes there.
But first, we begin tonight with Dane County Executive Joe Parisi, who just asked UW-Madison to close its residence halls. So let's begin tonight with Eric Franke on that front. Eric.
Well, Susan and Mark, the county executive says we are seeing now at least 5 times the number of cases we saw in late August. He says 74% of Dane County's new cases just since the start of the month are from UW, along with 46 separate outbreaks. Parisi says it is time to send students home from the UW, finish the semester online, saying they should quarantine in their hometowns for 2 weeks to limit the spread. In that letter, Parisi says, quote, "We all love our great university and what it brings to our community. Unfortunately, given the pandemic, congregating these students has significantly impacted the capacity of the public health system, local public health efforts, and may impact the health of our community." The letter goes on to say if the UW decides against sending students home, they need to increase staffing to support student compliance with the rules, establish more on-campus quarantine facilities, especially for those, he says, who live in off-campus housing. Parisi also says UW needs to triple the number of contact tracers within 30 days and increase testing capacity on campus.
And basically what's happening is that it's overwhelming the infrastructure that's in place to do contact tracing and to do testing. So we're very concerned how the spread of this among the UW students is going to impact the rest of the community. I mean,
Now, we have reached out to Chancellor Blank and Interim System President Tommy Thompson for their reaction. We're waiting for those responses, and we will bring those to you as soon as we receive them. You can find Parisi's full letter on our website, channel3000.com.
Eric, thank you. Madison isn't the only campus facing coronavirus issues right now. Just to our west, UW-Platteville is cracking down on students following a surge of cases there.
Our Adam Duxter is live on the UW-Platteville campus with what students can now get in trouble for and just how severe that punishment could be. Adam?
Well, in-person classes aren't ending here today, at least not as of yet. But headed into today, there were 35 active coronavirus cases linked to students, and that's just after 1 week of in-person classes. Now, campus leaders say if students are caught at a social gathering or party, they can face punishment as severe as being suspended. And today, a university spokesperson said the way students respond will determine whether or not classes can continue long-term.
It's on all of us. You know, if we want to continue to have face-to-face classes, if we want to continue to take advantage of the university services and proceed with as normal of a semester as possible, then it's on all of us.
Now, Erickson didn't say exactly how the system would determine a punishment, just that a student would be referred to the dean of students if they're caught at a social gathering or at a party. Now, as for how long the university can continue on like this, Erickson says they have 250 beds in quarantine reserved, and he says for the meantime, they're going to continue on with in-person classes.
Adam Duxter reporting for us live from UW-Platteville campus. Adam, thank you. As more cases are reported on UW campuses, the number of new cases around the state remains high. Nearly 800 more cases have been reported. 13 more people have died across the state, bringing the total number of deaths to 1,173. A warning today from the health department sounds startling. Assume you've been exposed to the coronavirus if you've been downtown recently.
Now, we're told it's not meant to alarm, just to give people in the downtown area an extra reminder to be careful. Our Gabriela Becerra joins us live downtown to explain more about the concerns. Gabby?
Mark and Susan, the misty weather is keeping everyone from hanging out downtown today, but that's exactly what public health experts want people to avoid doing even when the weather is nice. Public Health of Madison and Dane County linked a lot of positive cases to downtown Madison. The agency recommends anyone who lives or works down here to watch for symptoms, including fever, cough, and shortness of breath. If you develop any of those symptoms, Public Health wants you to get tested and quarantine until results come in. A UW-Madison student who lives and works downtown tells us she's already been doing that since the pandemic started.
I'm not really surprised by that, so it's, encouraging that they have more information and are able to, let people know so people can be more safe. But for me, the personal, like the habits, everything I've been doing, not really changing too much. Just want to be cautious.
Public Health of Madison and Dane County wants everyone, regardless of where they live or work, to wear masks, stay spread out, and avoid gatherings. Also, staying home if you're sick. Now, Public Health's message wasn't intended to cause panic, but simply serve as a reminder that if you do go out, to be careful. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, we'll share when you should get tested.
All right, Gabrielle McCary reporting live from downtown Madison. Thank you. Top Trump administration health officials took the hot seat before a Senate panel today to defend the government's oversight over the development of a coronavirus vaccine. The director of the National Institutes of Health and U.S. Surgeon General assured a Senate panel that politics will not play a role in the development of a vaccine. Under the Trump administration's Operation Warp Speed, 6 vaccine trials are in rigorous trials, with 3 of them in the 3rd phase. This week, 9 drug manufacturers took the rare step of signing a pledge to ensure they would not seek regulatory approval before trials showed their vaccine is safe.
This ought to be reassuring to everybody listening when we say we are going to focus first on safety and make no compromises. Here is Exhibit A.
The experts who testified to the committee committed to working to make sure that cost would not be an obstacle once a vaccine is available. The Surgeon General also warned that this coming flu season would be, quote, the most important of our lifetime, and urged Americans to get a flu shot. Continue to stay with News 3 Now and Channel 3000 for the latest on the pandemic. We've been following this story since the beginning and will continue to provide the latest details on cases and any local mitigation efforts.
The pandemic is shaking up the presidential race with the publishing of audio tapes. On them, President Trump admits to journalist Bob Woodward that the virus was more deadly than what he was saying in public. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
President Trump knew the coronavirus was far more deadly than what he was saying publicly as far back as February 7th.
Late last night, I had a very good talk with President Xi, and we talked mostly about the coronavirus.
That day, he discussed the threat posed by the virus in an interview with journalist Bob Woodward for his new book, Rage, which is published by Simon & Schuster, a division of Viacom CBS.
You just breathe the air, and that's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus.
This was President Trump speaking in New Hampshire less than a week later.
By April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true. Rough stuff, I tell you, rough stuff. But I think it's going to work out good. We only have 11 cases, and they're all getting better.
A month later, the president admitted to Woodward he minimized the danger.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down. Yes, sir. Because I don't want to create a panic.
The White House says the president doesn't bear responsibility for the coronavirus spread because he was displaying good leadership by preventing a national panic.
The president has never lied to the American public on COVID. The president was expressing calm, and his actions reflect that.
Campaigning in Michigan, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden called it a disgrace and a dereliction of duty.
He had the information. He knew how dangerous it was. Now, while this deadly disease ripped through our nation, he failed to do his job on purpose. It was a life and death betrayal of the American people.
Woodward writes that President Trump never seemed willing to mobilize the federal government, preferring to let states handle the crisis. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Bob Woodward recorded 18 on-the-record interviews with President Trump for the book. Woodward will appear on 60 Minutes to talk about the book this weekend. 60 Minutes airs at 6 p.m. Sunday evening right here on CBS.
Wildfires are ripping through western states, including dozens in California, where the Bobcat fire is throwing a layer of smoke over the Los Angeles region. Sections of the Angeles National Forest that haven't burned in decades are now in flames. The notorious Santa Ana winds threaten to push the Bobcat fire into the foothill communities where residents are on alert. The fire that erupted over the weekend has grown to over 11,000 acres. It is burning out of control and sending embers into the air.
We're talking right now, you can feel these ashes, and then the embers and that wind can take that ember and go as far as 100 to 200 feet and start another fire. So we're real concerned about that.
Residents of the Bay Area woke up in a smoky orange haze. Fires are also ripping through parts of Oregon and Washington State, where more acres burned in a single day than firefighters usually see all year. In California, the blistering heat wave has made matters worse, leaving forests bone dry and extra vulnerable, with the fire season still far from over. Around here, a different story, kind of cloudy, cool, not quite as chilly, however. Dana's in the backyard with a warm-up on the way.
We're going to put warm-up around some air quotes. It's still a little cool out here on the patio, and as we look ahead to the next few days, we'll add on a few more degrees to each afternoon, so it won't be quite as chilly by tomorrow. Looking at our Doppler track, though, we still have plenty of rain in the area as we see some lighter showers starting to develop in the northwest corner of Dane County. Even out here on the patio right now, it's misting just a little bit, so even the areas where we might not be seeing some heavier showers on our radar, do know that we're still seeing those light drizzly spots coming down. We're at about 50 degrees right now in Madison, and that's where we've been hanging out for the last several hours. We're expecting temperatures to hold pretty steady through this afternoon. The record low high temperature today is 57 degrees. We only climbed to 57 degrees in 1917, and today we might hit 52, 53. Not seeming very likely, though, as it's staying quite cloudy for this evening. We'll take a close look at what's ahead for the next few days, as we do see a very small warm-up in just a little bit. Right now, the roads seem fairly smooth throughout Dane County. We aren't seeing any delays along the Beltline. The interstate looks good all the way through Rock County as well in downtown Janesville. Now, to get from Janesville to the Beltline, we're at 26 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes. We'll look at your full 10-day forecast in just a bit.
All right, Dana, thank you. And speaking of traffic, all lanes of the interstate near Edgerton are open again this afternoon after a deadly crash there this morning. Around 3:45 this morning, a semi driving south drove through the concrete median and collided with another semi driving in the other direction. At one point, one of the trucks was engulfed in flames. One of the drivers, a 29-year-old man, was killed, and the other was sent to an area hospital. The DOT says the interstate near Newville Road was closed for more than 8 hours while crews investigated and cleaned up the crash.
Well, still to come at 4 as summer comes to a close, so does our Concerts on the Square series.
We wrap things up this afternoon with a viola concerto at Yahara Place Park. Boy, that sounds just about perfect today. That's coming up when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
In the
race for a vaccine, the finish line is approaching. Safety protocols in place, and the greatest economy the world has ever seen coming back to life. But Joe Biden wants to change that.
I would shut it down.
Why would we ever let Biden kill countless American businesses, jobs, and our economic future when President Trump's great American comeback is now underway?
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
So, how's saving for the renovation going?
All done.
I will never understand how you do it.
Easy. She saves with BMO Harris. We give you a cash reward for every month you save.
So BMO will give me cash for saving money?
You bet.
Can the subject hold position 2, please?
How's this?
That's art.
That makes saving look good.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. Get a $5 reward every month you save $200 or more in a new BMO Statement Savings account.
About our $49 single vision package. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
Well, the pandemic has led to shortages of everything from toilet paper to lumber, even coins.
But now people are having trouble getting their hands on appliances. When the pandemic hit, Americans started stockpiling up on food. Then demand grew for refrigerators and washers and dryers as more people upgraded their appliances. At the same time, the coronavirus forced many factories to shut down or scale back production, leading to shortages.
We probably get about 20 calls a day from all over the country, people looking for freezers, and this has been happening since the beginning of March.
Getting an older appliance fixed isn't easy either. Repair specialists like Robert are working 12-hour days, 7 days a week to try to accommodate all of his customers. Experts believe appliance shortages should start easing this fall as factories get back up to full speed. On Wall Street, tech shares rebounded after 3 days of selling. The Dow Industrials gained 439 points, closing at 27,940. The tech-heavy NASDAQ was up 293 points, and the S&P 500 added 67. Well, as summer comes to a close, so does our series on the musicians that make the concerts on the square so special.
With the 37th concert series, a victim of the pandemic this year, we've been introducing you instead to the individual musicians of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra.
With this week's introduction, here's Maestro Andrew Sewell.
Deirdre Buckley is a member of the viola section. She has been with us since 1992. A seasoned member of the orchestra, she sits next to our principal, has always got a smile on her face.
Decided to do 3 different dances, one by Marin Murray of 5 Old French Dances, and the one I chose is Le Provençal, and then Courant by J.S. Bach. And then finally, I included a piece of my own, and I just called it Dance. I probably could get a better name, but I was influenced in writing my piece by the other 2. Viola, and in 7th grade I had the opportunity to play the viola in a certain situation, and the sound of the richness and depth of the strings, the warm, beautiful sound, I was smitten, and so I eventually switched over full-time to viola. So I can still play violin, but I prefer to play viola. I just love the rich, beautiful, deep sound. Concerts on the Square is so special. I mean, to be able to play the serious symphonic music that we play, but also to play all other kinds of music too. We've played movie music and Beatles and just everything. I get to play a wide variety of music, and my talented colleagues can just play anything. And the chamber orchestra as a small group, and so we're so nimble, and we can turn on a dime, and the ensemble are, it's so tight and together. And Andrew is so much fun and has such a great sense of humor, and he picks such wonderful repertoire for us. It's a joy. It's a joy.
What a beautiful setting as well. A little concert as you float by in your kayak. Not bad. That segment was shot at Yahara Place Park.
And next week, a wrap-up of all the featured musicians we've had this summer.
So when we come back on the Square next year, you'll get to know a little bit more about who's actually playing the music. Absolutely. That'll make it even more fun.
And there's more to come at 4 today. There are new developments in the Tiger King saga.
They are laid out in tonight's 48 Hours here on CBS. We'll have a preview coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for this guy, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We made it for all branches and all ranks, whether they served one tour or made a career of it. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with and can save you money on auto, home, and renter's insurance. Become a member today. Get an insurance quote at usaa.com/quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Baca Enterprises is truly humbled and thankful to all of our employees, residents, families, and vendors for their patience and cooperation.
Our employees have gone above and beyond with sanitation efforts, altering their daily routines, all while spreading joy and happiness throughout our community.
As you look forward to the future, Beaver Dam Assisted Living will be here for you.
To provide a sense of security and to provide comfort by keeping you safe and healthy.
Together, we're moving forward to help you live life with confidence. Call today to schedule your tour.
This season, the hottest destination isn't a place, it's a retreat on wheels. Now's your chance to get away in a Ford SUV. The SUVs with the highest brand loyalty in the industry. With scenic views, premium sound, and all your favorite tech, every drive is one exhilarating destination. And with great offers going on now, you've arrived. Choose FlexBuy on Escape with 0% financing for 66 months, plus $1,500 FlexBuy cash and $1,000 retail trade assist.
Families are reeling right now, enduring illness, losing their employers' plans in droves. They need lifelines now. My plan lowers healthcare costs, gets us universal coverage quickly when Americans desperately need it. This is my promise to you. When I'm president, I will take care of your health care coverage and your family the same way I would my own. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Are you one of the 100 million Americans that suffer from chronic pain? Hi there, my name is Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I want you to know about an all-natural product called Cura Relief. With nutrients like boswellia and curcumin, it targets the root of your pain, inflammation. Most people feel a difference in less than 45 minutes. Stop the pain and the drugs naturally with Cura Relief. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com. The Healthy Place.
Take a look at this. A 50-year-old python shocked the zookeepers at the St. Louis Zoo by laying eggs. It was surprising because she hasn't been near a male snake in 15 years. The zoo's ball python is the oldest snake on record that's known to be living in a zoo. And here's where it gets interesting. Ball pythons have been known to delay fertilization by males or reproduce entirely by themselves without a mate. Zookeepers are on the case. They plan to do genetic testing to find out how this mom-to-be came to be.
Wow, that's pretty fascinating.
I never knew that.
Wild.
It is wild. Huh. 50-year-old snake. Mama.
Well, you know, the clock is ticking, so.
That's right. All right, Dana.
It's a little chilly outside.
It is a little chilly outside. Record chilly.
We're looking at, not breaking our record low temperature for the day. Unfortunately, we've been really staying close to 50 degrees for our highs this afternoon, or temperatures throughout the area. And now we're just dealing with a misty, cloudy sky for the evening. We'll be back closer to average in just a few days, though. We'll look here for a 10-day right after the break.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
In her letter to the UW-Madison community, Chancellor Rebecca Blank wrote, "The virus cannot be controlled without each of us modifying our normal behavior." The question is, can UW students modify their normal behavior? Blank's prescription of 14 days of restrictions on student activities is a necessary response to the spike in COVID cases on campus. Time will tell if it's enough. It's fair to say most of the people we've talked to are not optimistic. Students, News 3 Now reporter Maddie O'Neill talked with, are clearly hoping to stay on campus and in classrooms. We hope they're up to the challenge. This is about more than typically healthy and resilient 19 and 20-year-olds. This is about vulnerable faculty and staff and the broader community. They have 2 weeks to prove they can do it. If they don't, there won't be much choice other than to shut it down.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
Surgenian's 90th anniversary has store-wide savings, and when you have Madison's biggest selection of flooring, it means big savings. And that means every department from carpeting to wood to waterproof flooring to rugs, plus special 18-month financing too. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
Put a DR leaf and lawn vac to work on your property. The DR rides behind your lawn tractor and inhales everything. Unloading takes just seconds. Spring, summer, or fall, the DR is the most powerful leaf machine you can buy.
Go online to drleafvac.com to request your free buyer's guide. DR leaf vacs are now on sale and free shipping is in effect. Hurry, this offer won't last.
We are the Thrivers, women with metastatic breast cancer. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in postmenopausal women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant. In a clinical trial, Kisqali plus fulvestrant helped women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer, and it significantly delayed disease progression. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
If a wedding or special event is in your future, consider the new Grand Ballroom at High Point Steakhouse. With panoramic driftless area views and an award-winning custom menu, it's the perfect choice for the perfect wedding or banquet. The Grand Ballroom at High Point Steakhouse.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's a little cloudy and a little drizzly outside right now, and a little chilly also. Kind of feels like we fast forwarded through fall. Here's a live look at Platteville with our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Just seeing all of that cloud coverage through most of southern Wisconsin. Also a little breezy, that wind coming in from the northeast, so it is a cooler breeze. We're seeing wind speeds anywhere from about 8 to 15 miles per hour. So starting to talk a little bit about a wind chill for this evening. 50 degrees currently in Madison, but areas north seeing current temperatures in the 40s. As far as our radar is concerned, the showers continue to pass through, but we're seeing these markings, those heavier showers or light, steady showers popping up, but even areas not seeing the green right now, likely dealing with a little bit of light drizzle. Not quite enough to get picked up on our radar, but enough that if you go outside, you'll probably feel it. Just like was out on the patio a second ago. Didn't quite need an umbrella, but you could certainly feel the rain coming down. Rainfall totals close to Rockford, almost 4 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Outside in the parking lot, we've picked up just about an inch and a quarter of rain passing through, and these showers are going to continue through the evening, overnight, and we will have a few rain chances for Thursday and Friday. So the rain kind of sticking around. Our temperatures will stay in the 50s for the rest of the evening, and for tonight we'll be dropping just a bit down to the 40s. Lower rain chances expected for Thursday and Friday, though it's still going to be cloudy outside, and we're still going to have a few more opportunities for showers to pass through. So we get through the bulk of the rain this evening. As we head into Thursday morning, we start the morning off with clouds. We'll keep the showers early in the day south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, but in the afternoon, the cloud coverage might give us a little bit of sunshine creeping in. High temperatures will be closer to 60, so we add a few more degrees on for Thursday. Friday, we get a bit of sun early in the day, but we're expecting our temperatures overnight to be quite chilly in the 40s early in the morning. In the afternoon, we'll be in the mid to upper 60s for afternoon highs, with a chance for showers starting to develop later in the day. We're a little chilly outside, but the tropics are still cooking. Right now, we're keeping an eye on 2 named systems, Tropical Storm Paulette and Tropical Storm Rena. These systems are continuing to move through the Atlantic, and it's already been, as we know, a very active hurricane season. As we look back through 2020 so far, you can see several major systems passing through, some interesting events as far as coming up into Wisconsin and coming through the tropics one after another. So we still have plenty of time left in hurricane season, something that we're going to continue to monitor. For us, it's just a little chilly and a little gray outside. We'll stay pretty close to 50 degrees through the next several hours, and as we head into tomorrow, our temperatures will finally warm up a little bit. Today, we've had a lot of precipitation pass through, but that precipitation percentage backing off a little bit once we really get past midnight. Cloudy, not quite as cool tomorrow. We'll greet 60 degrees with open arms after being in the 50s for a few days. For Friday, we'll be in the upper 60s with a chance for rain, mainly in the morning. Saturday, a chance for showers and thunders and storms expected. Cloud coverage expected to stay throughout the day on Saturday, but it'll clear up a bit on Sunday. Partly sunny skies on Sunday, and then sunshine as we head into the start of next week, with those highs bouncing back into the 70s, overnight lows in the 50s. So being a little more seasonable stretch, but we have a few cooler days to get through first.
Just grab a sweater. Don't turn the furnace on yet.
Not yet. Try to hold off if you can. If the pets are enjoying the cool weather, let them bundle up.
Absolutely. All right, Dana, thank you. There are new details on the mystery at the heart of the hit Netflix series Tiger King.
In the series, big cat owner Joe Exotic accuses animal rights activist Carol Baskin of murdering her former husband. Now, 23 years later, a woman says she may know what happened to him.
Richard Schlesinger speaks with her for her first TV interview on tonight's special 48 Hours Suspicion series premiere.
Even if you haven't watched TV during this time of COVID, chances are you've heard of the Netflix series Tiger King. Like it or not.
It centers around Joe Exotic, an Oklahoma-based animal cat owner, and his sworn enemy, Carol Baskin.
Julie Miller is a senior writer at Vanity Fair.
Joe Exotic is this wild, cartoonish, flamboyant, mulleted, tattooed, gun-toting, large animal owner. Carol's more a hippie, new age, wears flower crowns.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
The fight between the two ignited online when Carol tried to shut down Joe Exotic's amateur zoo and his lucrative business of taking tiger cubs around the country and charging people to take pictures with them. But there was more to this show. There was a sensational allegation of murder.
In 1997, Carol's second husband, Don Lewis, disappeared under very mysterious circumstances. There have been all sorts of theories.
The most bizarre theory, which Mr. Exotic put on his YouTube channel, is that Carol murdered her husband and disposed of his body in a particularly unusual way.
That she had her husband ground up in a meat grinder and fed them to the animals.
He illustrated his allegation with his idea of a Carol look-alike in a music video he produced. That allegation sparked an internet frenzy. Carol Baskin has denied having any involvement in Don Lewis's disappearance, and the local sheriff has said there are no suspects, but he hopes all the attention will change that. And tonight, for the first time on TV, 48 Hours speaks with Trish Farr Payne, who believes her ex-husband, Don Lewis's former handyman, Kenny Farr, may be connected to Don's disappearance.
He said, if you try to leave me again, I will put you in the grinder like I did Don.
In a meat grinder?
Yeah.
She also says that a freezer inexplicably showed up on her porch around the time of Don's disappearance and then vanished shortly after. We heard from Kenny Farr this morning. He said in an email that Trish's account is a, quote, outlandish lie. He says he cooperated with police at the time of Don's disappearance and took a polygraph. He said, quote, I had absolutely nothing to do with Don's disappearance.
Wow.
The plot thickens. You can watch 48 Hours Suspicion, the Tiger King mystery tonight.
I will be there as well. You can see it at 9 o'clock right here on WISC TV. And we'll be right back.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this health care in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We've got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable health care. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like Emily lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
Here's your A1C.
Oh, my A1C is under 7.
And you may lose weight. Adults who took Ozempic lost on average up to 12 pounds.
I lost almost 12 pounds. Oh!
For those also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death.
It lowers the risk. Oh? And I only have to take it once a week. Oh.
Ozempic is not for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my blood sugar goal.
You may pay as little as $25 for a 1-month or 3-month prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once weekly Ozempic.
Tonight at 5, the United Way of Dane County is working to make sure each voter feels informed and understands their power when they cast a vote this coming election day.
The rain chances will go down for Thursday and Friday, and temperatures will rebound a little. After showers Saturday, dry and pleasant weather returns for next week. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, UW-Madison isn't the only local university seeing a large increase in positive COVID-19 cases. There's an uptick being reported in Grant County. We'll take you there at 6.
This is a live look at downtown San Francisco on this Wednesday afternoon. Haze from the fires and particles raining down upon the city.
That is unbelievable. It's 20 to 3 in the afternoon there. 240.
Just amazing.
Incredible. Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, it is. Well, you're hearing it everywhere. Get your flu shot.
It's always been important, but doctors say it's more important than ever this year as they worry that the flu and COVID-19 could quickly fill up hospital beds.
UW Health and News 3 Now are teaming up to show you that even doctors and chief meteorologists get flu shots. Yesterday, we met in the News 3 Now garage to witness Dr. Jeff Potoff and Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti get their flu shots. Take a look.
This year is extra special because we have this COVID-19 pandemic going on. One of the things we worry about as healthcare professionals is that if we have a really bad flu season and influenza season on top of a COVID-19 pandemic, that could put us in a tough spot. We might run out of personal protective equipment. We could have hospitals that are overrun with people with respiratory disease. And what we don't want to see is people who get both at the same time. So COVID-19 and influenza, we think those people are going to do a little bit worse than people who would just get one or the other.
Will the flu shot protect you in any way from COVID-19? Are they connected at all?
Right, so the flu shot won't protect you from COVID, except in the sense of it'll protect you from getting both COVID and influenza at the same time, which would be really tough. That would be a hard thing to kind of beat yourself if you got both at the same time. So that's where the flu shot can help you as it relates to COVID.
And everyone should get one.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of kind of urban legends around influenza shots. You'll hear someone say, you know, I got the flu shot and then I got the flu like the next day. You know, and these one-off stories, you know, they sound good, but for the most part, if you get the flu the day after the flu shot, that means you were exposed to influenza before you got the shot. You know, some people say, you know, I got the flu shot, it didn't work very good. And it's true that that flu virus can mutate a little bit between when the companies make the vaccine and the virus gets to us. But even those people who get flu get a much more mild case usually if they had already gotten the flu shot. So, you know, unless you've got a strong reason not to get it, you're allergic to some part of the vaccine, or your doctors tell you you're not a good candidate, the influenza vaccine is really important for us to get this year.
If you get it now, will you be protected throughout the entirety of the cold and flu season?
Yeah, so the flu shot won't change. The one that we have now is the one that you'll get today, or you'd get 2 months from now if you waited. I think the reason to get it right now is one, we'll start seeing influenza pretty soon. Two, we expect there to be a big demand for influenza shots this year. So if you can get it now, best to get it now rather than think you're going to get it later and then have trouble with supply chain.
And it's going to last through the summer. I mean, it's not going to wear out in February.
No, there's one flu shot for the year. So if you get it now, you're good for the rest of the respiratory season. You won't need another one until next year.
Should you have your children vaccinated?
Yeah, it's very important that our children get vaccinated. I think lots of times we don't think of them as having bad outcomes from influenza or the cold, but there are a number of children who do have really severe cases of influenza. Really important to get your kids vaccinated this year too.
So get your shot.
Thank you, Dr. Padov. Gary is so brave. He does it for us every year.
Every year. Well, still to come, the presidential election less than 2 months away. How's the race shaping up in Wisconsin?
When we come back, the director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin, joins us with the latest numbers that were released today. We'll have that one live at 4 continues.
Of course, it's been a trusted brand for over 40 years, and now they're starting a brand new service. We have Tasha Robinson here joining us today. So Age at Home by a Grace is what?
Age at Home by a Grace is a high-quality personal care program that specializes in housekeeping, companion care, running errands, a chore service.
And a Grace really has been compassionate end-of-life services for so long, but Age at Home is very different.
Age at Home is more personal care.
And I'm really excited. I have this fancy Age at Home shirt, so I get to play a caregiver today, and we're going to go see Terry. What are some of the things that we need to help Terry with?
Today we're going to help Terry with a sandwich. He likes to have a sandwich prepared for him so that he can have it later on in the day. We also help remind him to take his medications. So those are the services we will provide for him today.
And you are hiring for those exact caregivers because you have a lot of people who are looking to have this service here in Dane County.
Yes, we are. We're always looking for caregivers. We have part-time hours, a very flexible schedule, and we have awesome clients to work with.
Tasha, who could benefit from a service like Age at Home?
Anyone in the community, anyone who needs personal care services, chore services. If you are just being discharged from the hospital and you need someone to come in and maybe make a bed for you, walk your dog, because we have pet services as well. If you need assistance with errands, we can do that. So anyone that needs help.
How are you at cards? Because I'm pretty competitive.
So am I.
Oh boy, here we go. If you are looking for any personal or companion care, please keep Age at Home by a Grace in mind. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed in Madison.
In the race for a vaccine, the finish line is approaching. Safety protocols in place, and the greatest economy the world has ever seen coming back to life. But Joe Biden wants to change that.
I would shut it down.
Why would we ever let Biden kill countless American businesses, jobs, and our economic future when President Trump's great American comeback is now underway?
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs? Oh, yeah. All set.
Ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Call us when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow. We have families, too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current GM owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
It was a special day at Pearl Lake in South Beloit. At 100 years young, Bill Lambert dove into the record books for the 3rd time since he started scuba diving. That feat is even more impressive considering that Lambert didn't start diving until he was 98. His diving coach says scuba diving is great exercise for seniors. Lambert's next pursuit is clear. He wants to live to be 101 and break the record again.
I think he'll do it.
Boy, is that inspiring.
It really is.
Way to go, Bill. Well, the latest Marquette Law School poll is out, and it shows a tight presidential race in Wisconsin.
Director of the poll, Charles Franklin, joins us now to discuss the latest results. Hello, Charles.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, good to be back.
Good to see you again. Not a lot of big movement here.
No, we're really seeing a pretty close but consistent Biden lead. If you look at the polling since May, we've had Biden ahead by 4, by 6, by 5, and in this latest poll by 4. It's 47-43, with 4% for the Libertarian, Joe Jorgensen, and that, leaves about 6% who are saying they're undecided. This steady mid-single digits lead by Biden has been with us actually for a long time, but it is tightened ever so slightly over the last 2 months. but the margin of error is plus or minus 4.3, so it's not much real movement.
It's right within the margin. Are there any undecided voters out there?
It's about 6% on the likely voter question. It's a little bit bigger if you expand it to all registered voters. And there's some individual groups that are more undecided. So if you look at pure independents, then there's more people who are undecided in that group, but it's only less than 10% of the electorate. The other side is this is the first time we've explicitly asked about the Libertarian candidate, because she was just added to the ballot by the Elections Commission last month. She's at 4% now. The Libertarian got about 4% 4 years ago. And we'll see if that support holds for her. And if not, you know, sort of where do people go? Last thing is 4 years ago, over 20% said they disliked both candidates. This year, it's a little under 10, about 8% that say that. So there are fewer people who are really turned off by both candidates.
Is this likely voters or registered voters?
I'm talking about likely voters, and the votes that I've just been talking about are among likely voters. But right now, likely or registered doesn't make very much difference. Among registered voters this month, it's a 6-point Biden lead, 4 points among likely voters.
You also asked people, does Trump care for people like you, like myself?
And this is not a strong suit for him. 41% say he does, but 56% say he does not. With Joe Biden, it's 48% that say he does care, but 45% say he does not. And those two numbers haven't moved much at all since June when we asked it before the convention. So, you know, there's not much of a convention bounce in our data at all.
You also asked about Governor Evers' approval rating.
He has fallen off a bit this month. He was at 57% approval, 37% disapproval in early August. He's now at 51-43. That puts him back at almost exactly where he was in January and February before the coronavirus hit. His approval numbers shot up as the virus hit and were quite high last month, but a 6-point decline in his job approval this month.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, we didn't ask people about their perceptions of the governor, so we don't know if this was connected to the Kenosha events or whether it was, you know, connected with calling for a special session of the legislature or anything else that has happened between August and now. But what we do see is that 6-point dip in approval. And on handling the coronavirus, there was also a dip, though not as much, from 61% approval to 57% approval. So he's down a bit, but I think the overall job approval has now returned to sort of where he was before the last 6 or 8 months of crisis.
Less than 2 months before the election. I assume we're going to have another poll before then?
We'll have two.
All right. This is your time of the year.
It is.
Charles, thanks for being with us today. Interesting numbers as usual. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Great to see you.
A final check your forecast coming up.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. Book a free consultation to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it. Staying fit and snacking light? Yep, on it there too. You may think you're doing all you can to manage type 2 diabetes and heart disease. But could your medication do more to lower your heart risk? Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And it lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Health officials in Grand County say they're seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases. How UW-Platteville is responding to that surge at 5. Plus, a new Marquette Law School poll shows the presidential race tightening. We'll take a closer look at those numbers.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now.
Here's a look at our radar loop over the last 2 hours. We've had some steady showers pass through, but also just some misty conditions. We currently have a little steadier rainfall passing over downtown. The rest of it still off to the northwest near the La Crosse area. As we take a live look at downtown with our Edgewater Skycam, know that visibility is reduced even in the areas where it's not raining steadily. That misty haze still holding on as we have a cloudy sky currently and temperatures close to 50s. A little bit of a warming trend for the next few days. Gary will have more on that during the news at 5.